Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Today it's a new video, new type of video. I wanted to make this series for a long time, but I thought like how and when and what to talk about, and finally I've decided right now these days are more or less free because of New Year holiday, so I decided okay, let's do this and let's try doing this. In this series of videos I will be talking about some gadgets, some IT related things, etc. And today I wanted to talk about some interesting things, obsolete gadgets that I still have, and some of them still work somehow. So let's take a look at them. I bet that you guys, especially I address it to younger generation, people, maybe you do not know them at all, or maybe you see this for the first time, so this is very funny. Well, let's begin with the smallest one, I guess. This one. So this one is an MMC memory card. Right, you got it right. This is a memory card. If you take a look at this side, the back side, there are some metal things that are actually for the memory card to be read by your gadget, let it be a camera or a phone, etc. You probably know the cards, the classic format that we now use as well, just regular SD or TF card. This is an MMC card. This is kind of like half of an adapter for an SD card. If you ever bought an SD card, there usually comes this kind of thingy, which is actually an adapter for example, your camera or any other device that maybe doesn't support this small TF card. So you insert it into this slot, and here you go, the big, card. An MMC card is kind of like half of it. You see, the half of it. Well, this is an obsolete format, and take a look, 1 GB of memory. This is ridiculous, right, for today. So I used it for another gadget of mine that I will show you later, and it had a small contraption, this metal thingy, which also came in the set. So what you did with them, you attach them together like this. Let me just do it. I even forgot how to do this stuff. Oh, okay, yeah, here we go. And oh my god, it fell. Yeah, so here we go, this bigger version, you see, 2 halves. So it's the same with this format right now, the same size. Well, but I used it as only a half, without this adapter, only this part, for another thing, and you will be surprised where I used it. In this phone, right? It is the phone, it is Nokia E60. And what makes it really surprising is that you probably saw it right now. It has no camera, right? It has no camera, but it has all the functions of a smartphone. And if you wonder what operating system it used Symbian S60 operating system with applications and stuff. So pretty much the same concept as we have right now, but very obsolete. It still works, it still can launch. Let me just try to do that, if it is possible. Oh yeah, you see it is right now kind of like launching or something. So you can see this Nokia logo, a very famous logo, right? Back in the day, right now it only just carries the name, unfortunately. And we had this very weird detachable battery, and the battery was enough for maybe a day or 2, maybe 3 even. So it works. Yes, launching. Well, it still works, it still catches the signal. EMA also works, so everything is fine, but it doesn't support Bluetooth profile, A2DP profile, so you cannot listen to music via Bluetooth, unfortunately. And it also doesn't have camera, which makes it a little bit not that convenient probably. So the phone, right, I used this card for that phone, and this was only just 1 GB of external memory, and here we have like 512 megabytes, I guess, the internal memory of this phone. Ridiculous amount for our times, right? So well, let's come to next gadget. You wonder what it is. It is not the flash drive, no, nothing like that. This is a Bluetooth dongle. So what it did, for example, if your computer or maybe a laptop, oh my god, doesn't have a Bluetooth connection. You insert this one, sometimes it requires the driver, so and it does what? It connects your computer wirelessly to Bluetooth devices, so you can send files, you know, from the phone to computer or vice versa. Right now we usually use wireless network for that, using other applications that transfer files via Wi-Fi, or maybe we use the cloud storage like, I don't know, Yandex Disk or Dropbox or something. But back in the day we used Bluetooth, especially if we had to send just small files. But it's a good thing. For example, if you want to copy something from the computer and it is not very heavy in size, for example a document or something, and you don't want to insert your flash drive because maybe it will be infected by viruses, you may send files wirelessly with this USB dongle. So it's a handy thing, comes in handy when it's important about viruses. Well, the next gadget, I don't know with which to start. Okay, let's start with this one. You will never guess what it is. Yeah, take a look. It may look like an MP3 player. You know, back in the day we had this kind of MP3 player, sometimes with the display, sometimes without, like iPod Shuffle. Oh my god, no, not that quality, of course. But we had these ones. It comes back to 2000, 2002 probably, or maybe 2003. I don't remember exactly, but this is the radio, right? So it had this slot for headphones, and you just, you know, turned this scrolling wheel button like this. Yeah, and that's how you turned it on. And there was a button, scan, so you pressed on it, and the radio started to search for all the stations available. And back in the day we had maybe 2-3 stations. Sometimes TV signal was also possible to be listened to, and it worked on 2 batteries, just 2 simple AAA batteries. So nice device, and we pretended that it was a sophisticated MP3 player or something, while in reality it was just a radio, FM radio by the way only, no other frequencies. So as for the side of things of MP3 players themselves, take a look at this. Yeah, a ridiculous MP3 player, technically a card reader. So you had this SD card slot, you inserted your SD card, and then you inserted your headphones, you switched on this thing with this, you know, switch, and you started playing music. So it supports the switching between the tracks, also increasing the volume, you know, pausing, etc. Doesn't have any, you know, screen doesn't have any shuffle function as iPod shuffles, for example. But you know, the sound is decent. Even if you right now insert it and play something, it is more or less okay. There is no kind of like you know, additional noise coming from this. So I think that audio card in this device is pretty decent for its size and for its price. It's not very pricey at all, and you see shiny, right? Another device, I want to show you this, Pocketbook 301, an e-reader. Back in the day, in 2009 and 10, there was the hype about e-readers, and everybody was keen on buying that stuff, and it was promoted on TV, media, etc. And what it does, it just, you know, reads the books, the digital versions of different books in EPUB and FB2 format that you can buy online, download online, and that stuff. It comes in handy when you are especially keen on reading. You want to read something, if you do not have an access to the real version of a book, you may buy it online and store it on this device and read it later. Or maybe you want to take a lot of books with you, so it can store all of them. But if you search for a device to work with high graphical files like PDF, documents, etc., of course you cannot get away with this. You will anyway need a laptop, or better, a tablet. So this proved to be a very narrow, I think, profile device, which is very good for reading literature. And the advantage of it is this e-ink display, and it serves itself as an electronic paper. So when you read something, it doesn't, you know, flicker, it doesn't produce any kind of light as, for example, the displays do, so it's an advantage there. But at the same time, you know, it is too slow to work with PDF or something like that, you know, something that is heavier than just a text, you know. So it's for special audience, I would say. So well, and the next is this is kind of for a joke. Do you know what this is? I think kids still play that stuff. This is a brick game. That's how it is called officially. Even you can Google it, and in Wikipedia there is an article about those things. This is kind of like, you know, game, very primitive. There are a lot of different games in it. It works on the batteries. Take a look. And you know, back in the day, I was always playing with that stuff. It was really funny, and it still works, you know, it's still functional. And sometimes when I get bored, from time to time I may play something just for fun, you know. It's a kind of retro, you know, activity, if you will. So brick game, a nice thing, but it could be a little bit better. But unfortunately, you know, Chinese manufacturers didn't think about that much. Well, okay. That's it for today. I had some other gadgets, you know, somewhere in the basement, you know, and the one question is why I keep them. Well, some of them I just, you know, like, it's kind of like for my memory. Some of those I still even use, like for example, I may use a Bluetooth or maybe a memory card. Or maybe a you know, electronic book reader, but most of the time they are just, you know, obsolete. Nobody is interested in them. I cannot sell them, so and that's why I just keep them, you know. It's okay, yeah, right? So I bet that everybody has some of those, you know, old gadgets, of course. So well, thank you so much guys for watching to the end, and tell me in the comments which gadgets you like most and why, and whether you have some similar ones or not, so I will be very interested to know. So thank you very much again for watching, stay safe, and see you in the next episode. It's Mr. Po out, take care.